Hi, I'm Stephanie Deshaies. I've been a Sarasota resident for a little over 3 years. I voted on election day. I did read in the newspaper prior to the official election that there were some issues with the touch screen voting machines. So one of the things I was really conscious of was making sure that when I went in that all my votes counted. And that's really something I had in the back of my mind the whole time I was voting. I went through all the pages. I did clearly, I'm a registered Democrat. I selected Christine Jennings. It was very apparent to me that I had made a selection. And then after I got to the final screen that tallied up the votes, there was no vote selected for that district race. At that point, I did, pull a poll worker aside, and I, said to her, here's what I've done, and nothing is showing up for this race. And she just sort of laughed it off. Oh, well, just go back and select your candidate. I've heard of a few, problems like that. So I went back, selected Christine Jennings, looked at the tally sheet again, made sure that everything that I had voted was registered there, and then submitted my vote. And I said to her on the way out, I said, I think that's, really unusual that this has happened. She goes, well, we've had a few I've heard a few random things. And I said to her, well, it really doesn't seem to be so random to me, because, I read about it in the paper, and here it is happening to me. Never did I ever think that I would actually, have that experience. When I went into the polling place, it was at the Church of the Palms, and nobody had said anything. Nobody was pulling people aside. Nobody was saying, now you want to make sure when you look at the last screen that all of your votes are there. So I really left there feeling like my vote really didn't count. At that point, I was really questioning whether what I had voted was ever going to go anyplace, or was it going to actually show up anywhere. I know a lot of people who voted with an absentee ballot because they wanted to make sure that there was a paper trail. But I really had no confidence in the touchscreen voting, and I'd used it before. But I was really, really disappointed, and then probably more disappointed when I started reading newspaper articles where they were blaming it on human error. People weren't being careful. They were just trying to gloss it over and make it seem like, well, or they were saying, well, people were really particularly upset over this nasty race, and so they probably didn't vote to send a point to the candidates. And I would buy that for maybe a few thousand voters, but not 13,000 or 18,000 or however many it really turns out to be. So I was really disappointed in the whole process. I was disappointed in the attitude of the poll workers, and really disappointed in the attitude of the supervisor of elections, who tried to make it seem like, we were just careless.